Welcome back to another episode of Scryer's Room. I am your host, Fanfare.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mario.
And if you like this content, go ahead and give us a like and subscribe at my YouTube channel, Fanfare. And if you have an idea for an episode following this one, go ahead and shoot that to @TheSmugGrape on Twitter. Today we're going to start our episode talking about Joker 2.
Oh my goodness. So, it's my understanding you two have not seen it yet?
No, I don't watch movies anymore.
Well, get ready for some spoilers of one of the worst movies of all time.
So I've heard. I've only heard despicable, terrible things. And it's kind of, like, it's super sad because, like, I love musicals.
Right.
I love me a good musical, and typically if you tell me something's going to be a musical, my first thought is, that's going to be interesting. Not like, this is going to blow.
Right.
So it does suck that Joker 2 sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I really enjoyed the first one.
The first one was really good. I was trying to... This sounds super, super lame what I'm about to say, but I'm going to do it anyway. I was trying to explain to my mom what Joker was about, because I'm like, no, it's not just like a superhero movie. It's about like what will go into like making the Joker like crazy like he is. And it's like, he's also got this alienation. It speaks to like a lot of the struggles that we have in real life. And it's like, it's a really good look at the character. I really enjoyed Joker 1. Joker 1 ended with him having killed a man on national television and starting riots all throughout Gotham and like, oh my goodness, there's this huge social movement following him, and they're taking him in, and he's in Arkham Asylum, and the last scene of the first movie is he's explaining, like the movie has been him explaining to his therapist, like his doctor at Arkham, what's going on, and then the last scene is him walking away, and there's blood in his footprints. He killed his therapist. He's super hardcore Joker times. So let's start the next movie, where he's crying, and he's just in Arkham and very sad. He's just... Arthur Fleck is just... Everything sucks and I'm sad. Which is a reasonable thing to do when you're in like an asylum for the criminally insane.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And then one day, this girl who's clearly Lady Gaga shows up.
Harleen Quinzel?
Yeah, and she is also in the asylum. She says, I'm a poor person too, and you really inspired me.
Wait, so she's not a therapist this time?
She is not a therapist.
Well, that already fucking sucks. That's the whole point. The whole point of Harley Quinn is that she was a regular ass, like, scientific lady of science trying to help the common man.
You're gonna hate
And then
twists.
she is assigned to Joker, and Joker being Joker completely has her go buck fucking wild and go off the deep end. Like, that's supposed to be the point of Harley Quinn. What the fuck do you mean she's not a therapist?
Yeah, it gets worse.
All right, whatever, man. All right.
Next, you'll tell me she wasn't a gymnast either.
Oh, no.
She wasn't anything.
What the fuck? Who wrote this shit?
The director, and he did a bad job.
Yeah, he did a fucking terrible job. That's already like unforgivable to me. Whatever.
So she's there, and she explains she's poor, and he really spoke to her, and she really like worships him and the movement behind him, and he sort of like lets her hype him up for a little bit, and then they have some adventures throughout Gotham. They don't have adventures. That's the wrong word. She leaves at a certain point in the movie, and you get to see Gotham. And really what happens is most of this movie is taking place between Arkham or the courthouse. You don't get to actually see most of Gotham, except when Harley Quinn is just visiting all the set pieces from Joker 1. She goes to the stairs, which importantly in Joker 1, people don't know about the stairs. That was him completely by himself in that movie, dancing down the long stairway. But she goes to visit it because I guess she saw Joker. But like the entire movie is just the Joker, not the Joker, Arthur Fleck. The Joker shows up outside of dream sequences once, and he painted himself up to go to court, and it was a terrible idea. But the movie is genuinely, she shows up, he's happy, she tells him to do stuff. He does the stuff. It goes badly. So someone else tells him to do stuff. That goes badly. So someone else tells him to do stuff, and that goes badly. And then the movie kind of ends.
That sounds terrible.
It gets worse. So all the musical numbers are all dream sequences.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. You would think that the stuff they were using in the trailers of like, and then the Joker beats the judge to death with his gavel. That's so Joker. Nope, that was him having a little daydream right before Harley basically talks him into like, you should fire your lawyer and Joker up this courtroom and that's the strategy here. So he fires his lawyer and Joker's up in the courtroom and is summarily like, they're like, all right, you're doing contempt of court right now. Take him away.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And then he gets assaulted by a bunch of guards. And then he decides, I don't want to be Joker anymore. Everyone's really mean to me. Also, we find out Harley's been lying this whole time. She was rich and just sort of sad, and then decided that she wanted to be a part of this movement because it seemed cool. And then...
No.
And then Joker's like, I quit being Joker. I'm done with it. And then an insane person that we've never seen before comes up and stabs him, and he's dead. He dies on the floor of the prison.
Is it the end of the movie?
That's the end of the film.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Yep.
What? What did Sam Raimi mean by this?
The only, even connections to, Gotham and the comics and stuff are the characters' names. Like, the attorney, the district attorney that's, against Joker is, oh, he's Harvey Dent, that's Two-Face. That's so cool. That's not really relevant or important. He doesn't flip the coin or anything. That's not...
He's just cameo.
He's just sort of
cameo.
He's just sort of there, and that counts.
So they weren't ever intending to tie the Joker movies into a bigger thing. That was just an isolated fucking.
Apparently not.
That
because
is
importantly,
gross.
This Joker dies well before Batman exists.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought the whole point of this was to start a whole because they love their cinematic universes.
Listen. You remember the new Batman movie? The one with Twilight Batman, who's actually incredible, and don't take that as
yeah, no, he did a great job. I don't remember his name. It doesn't matter. Robert Pattinson? No? Yeah. I quite enjoyed the Batman because after Nolan's Batman, we kind of had this the Dark Knight. All right, he's a badass. It's edgy. It's gritty. It's dark fantasy. And then after that, we had the Justice League attempt, which is the most brutish Batman I've ever seen in my fucking life, which defeats the purpose of Bruce Wayne, because who was Bruce Wayne underscore? A detective. He's an int-based hero. Yeah. He just happens to be a ninja. So I really liked Robert Pattinson's Batman because he went back to being a detective. First and foremost, he is a detective.
So what I was going to say, I would have loved it if So my thought for where this movie was going to go is the beginning is Joker is in Arkham Asylum, and then he kills the judge when he's being, arraigned. And then, they just throw him in there basically for life. You're never coming out of here, Joker. And then we're going to have a time skip. And then it's going to be Harley Quinn is, the doctor that he, corrupts.
Yeah, the therapist.
Like how it's sort of supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then, a story that actually makes sense and is good, actually. But then, he corrupts her, and then she helps him break out. Maybe we have a quick cameo from Pattinson Batman, because now we've had a time skip in there.
He, pulls out his smartphone on his news feed, breakout in Arkham Asylum, therapist helps, inmate.
That would have been cool as shit.
I just assumed that happened. I don't know what the fuck I thought.
Now, I'll admit that me being I want it to connect to the other one, that's sort of Marvel nerding, but also... Isn't what I just said a better movie?
It is a better fucking movie. Yeah. The idea of Joker modest proposaling Harley Quinn into being a psychopath with him is a better movie than what the fuck you just described.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A better movie even would have been, just from Harley's perspective, this movie happening, and then at the end she kills the Joker.
Yeah, I mean...
Instead, the guy who kills the Joker is a random guy so insane that ideology couldn't play into it.
Yeah, I don't. It didn't even feel like poetic. It just sounded random.
It was random.
Yeah, dude.
It didn't feel poetic watching it either.
Who was the director? Who was the director for this movie?
Let's pull that up.
Yeah, please pull that up for me.
Because I feel like the only way you can fix this is if you were to make another movie, and then Arthur Fleck just wakes up. He's like, "That was a crazy dream I just had."
I dreamed that.
That's also an asshole. But
I dreamed that Lady Gaga was my girlfriend. It was crazy.
And then he wakes up and he's in the therapist chair, and it's Harleen Quinzel giving him therapy. That's how. Okay, Joker 3, write it, do it, do it.
Todd Phillips, if you want to do a good job of anything ever again. Oh wait, no, never mind. It looks like Joker might have been the only thing that this guy made that was good. Let's see. Because...
yeah, I was going to say, I don't know who Todd Phillips is. He has anything else under his belt?
The Hangover.
Oh, who gave this guy permission to make a serious movie?
Yeah. He did good once.
I feel like the Joker was successful, and they were just like, full reign, man. Do whatever you want.
The Lucas problem, man.
He did
That's why we got
Road Trip.
Jawas.
He did Road Trip. He did Old School. Good Lord. He did a lot of comedy movies that didn't do very well. Untitled Hulk Hogan biopic.
Oh.
That's going to be where Joker 2 really shines.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Oh my goodness. This guy did Borat? Is that correct?
Oh, really?
I would have thought that Sacha Baron Cohen actually... No, this isn't him at all. Why are you in the list, Borat? Director is Larry Charles.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe none of these movies were him.
Yeah, Google's
Because-
giving some bad intel.
Because Google is now run by robots who aren't particularly interested in giving
truth,
us information. Anyway, Joker 2, I highly recommend that you see it at least once because, frankly, I'm imagining that very few people believe me.
You have no reason to lie to me, so I'm going to
Right.
assume what you tell me is true, but that sounds stupid.
It is. It was.
I just... who fucking greenlights this shit? I don't know.
Genuinely, they said, Todd Phillips, Joaquin Phoenix, will give each of you $10 million to do Joker 2. To which they both said, done. And they're like, do you want time to, like, work on it? Like, are you going to need, like, years to work on, like, the script and everything? And they said, no. It's coming out in, like, 2 years. Like, the same, like, Marvel trajectory. And they're like, wow, so you must really have an idea ready. And he's like, not at all.
Not even kind of.
I don't have any ideas anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, like, directors and you know, trying to make their own spin on an existing IP.
Yeah.
But making Harley Quinn a rich girl pretending to be a poor girl that's a fanboy for the Joker is not... You're betraying the character.
Betraying every character. Even in, like, it's betraying Joker as he is throughout both of these movies. The entire courtroom, like, every, like, courtroom scene, by the way, where they bring in, like, witnesses, is just characters from the first movie describing Joker 1.
That's terrible.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's not a lot of good movies being made. Maybe that's not true. I don't really watch movies that much anymore. I watched Dune. I liked Dune.
Dune rocked.
Dune was fucking sick. And
Clearly, there
apparently-
are some people you can trust with the $10 million go nuts strategy, because Dune 2 was spectacular.
Apparently, Tarantino refuses to watch it. He said something like, I don't need to watch another version of Dune or something like that. I read an article about it.
I mean, my opinion of Quentin Tarantino is that I really enjoy his work, but you can't take advice from him, because most of his advice, like, on movie sets, has been saying the N-word and drinking liquor off of feet.
You know, I sometimes think he pulls the Eric approach, where he's just giving bad advice on purpose because he just wants people to stop asking him for advice.
He's just an auteur, like, you know, like, he's just there's only one Tarantino. Like,
Yeah.
what he does works for him, but it's like whatever he's gonna tell you, like, don't try to.
Yeah.
You can't copy
It's
it.
the
You're
lottery.
not Tarantino.
You're not imitating. Like his success cannot be imitated.
Yeah.
Because you know you always say, like, you know, you want to imitate success. Well, if you imitate Tarantino, you're just gonna get people to not like you.
Yeah, what they mean by
Like,
imitate
you're gonna make a
success
bad
is
Tarantino
things
movie.
like
Yeah.
follow what your heart tells you, the way that Tarantino followed his heart into saying the N-word and drinking off
Like
feet.
every time he makes a cameo, almost like.
He loves the N-word.
Granted, like, my favorite Tarantino cameo is when he explains that Top Gun is about a guy struggling with his homosexuality. That's probably one of my favorite fucking, like, riffs in all of cinematography. That shit is too goddamn funny.
I mean, isn't he right?
He's 100%
Yeah,
right.
so-
He's 100% correct. I stand that fucking stance. He lays it down perfectly. That 100% checks. Playing with the boys. Playing with the Boys is probably one of the most homoerotic songs I have ever heard. Granted, nothing wrong with that kind of lifestyle. I stand fucking LGBTQ. I consider myself queer. So I'm not talking shit, but playing with the boys with them oiled up, playing volleyball, that is one of the gayest scenes I have ever seen in my life.
I would never say that, like, any of this is wrong or anything. Like, if you were to say, like, hey, in your version of the film, it's you and you're super hot, surrounded by super hot people that you're attracted to, and you're playing your favorite game on the beach. Isn't that wonderful? And it's like, yeah, and you don't want to fuck them, right? What? Because you're going to go fly warplanes? I think maybe you wanted to make a different film.
Listen, man, after Chasing Sunsets, one of life's simple joys is playing with the boys.
Yeah.
What's the line? Like, I'll watch your tail. Or like,
yeah.
You can ride my, you can ride my tail anytime, and then you can ride mine. Yeah. Yeah.
Not gay at all.
Not even kind of. Not even kind of.
Do you think the gay community sees it as like a more beautiful kind of love if both of you are verse? So you take turns?
You know,
it feels more flexible, certainly.
I don't. Well, you want to tell the story about one thing that they know?
Oh, yeah. So, Tony was in class for Korean. And unfortunately, the world as it is, or was, and still will forever be, that means that class was full of girls who were super duper into K-pop, right?
Yeah, like so much so that like most of them asked me, "What's your favorite K-pop song?" And I was like, "Oh, I actually don't listen to K-pop." And they looked at me like I was like stupid.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah, what the fuck are you even in here for? They looked at me like I didn't belong. Well, not that. I wouldn't go that far.
Right.
I wouldn't go that far. They just didn't get why I was there. Like, what are you getting out of this? And I was like, I think the culture's cool. I like.
They've got good food, a respectable culture.
They have really good food. I think the Moonglaive is cool. They have some of the best silly hats in like olden times.
Yeah, longest running slavery of any civilization.
Yeah, big old track record there.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons to learn Korean.
Yeah, and
especially if you want to go visit Korea. Have you seen Seoul? It looks awesome.
That was my original one of my biggest reasons for wanting to study Korean is that I at one point wanted to live in Seoul because it's the most technologically advanced city in the world. And I thought that was cool. I'm all in for cyberpunk kind of stuff. I was like, you know what? You can have Wi-Fi in every inch of Seoul, and that's pretty fucking cool.
So at one point, the kinds of girls who go to colleges are horny, and the kinds of girls who go to colleges and take Korean class for their K-pop love are horny for a specific kind of man, and those men are beautiful yaoi monsters, as we call them.
Which is, I always think it's interesting how like the overlap, because it's East Asia, so like there's a lot of overlap with the cultures.
Yeah.
So like the term we know is fujoshi.
Yeah.
The term we know,
which is Japanese, and I'm sure very disrespectful.
Oh yeah, the Koreans are fucking livid that I'm going to compare them to Japanese at all. That's just how that works.
They don't care for them.
Yeah, they don't care that. They don't care for me doing that at all.
Yeah.
But the term the term I'm referring to is fujos.
Yeah.
These women, these girls were all more or less fujos.
So Tony, will you set me up for now that we've laid the scene?
Yeah, one of the lovely young ladies I was speaking to. I wasn't speaking to them. I was actually sitting in class before the class actually started.
And they were talking about fantasies.
Yeah, and the topic that came up was like, fantasies, like, oh, who'd you want to be with, or who'd you want to be with? And one of the girls was like, my dream would be to be with two bi guys at once.
No, she didn't say bi. She said gay.
No, listen. She said two bi guys at once. And then someone else came up and said, yeah, well, I want to be with two gay guys at once.
Wanted to force herself.
Yeah, and that came up to like, well, how'd that work? They're gay. She says, oh, they wouldn't have a choice. And my head turns, and I'm like, bitch, what did you just say?
So that's not a good fantasy to begin with. Yeah,
that's not a good thing you're saying right there. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if you're cool. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna use her name, but I don't know if you're cool, Sasha. That's kind of fucked up. Like, I got you're on my radar right now. Like, what the fuck? Are you a predator? And so that concept gets introduced.
So Tony relates this story to me, and I take a moment because I'm like that. I mean, the same reaction of that sort of like a disgusting thing to say. But I mean, it's also an impossible fantasy because she'd never get one over on him. Because, if there's one thing that gay guys know, It's teamwork. They know all about it.
They know all about helping a buddy out, man.
Yeah. You're not going to get one over on them.
Bold of you to assume,
Yeah.
Sasha. Bold of you to assume.
Also, they're still men.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
being gay doesn't, like, automatically make you a little bitch or something. Like,
Yeah,
they can still, on average, overpower a woman pretty easily.
Yeah.
40%.
And, that's on average, much less two of them.
Sasha had a bad plan.
Yeah.
It's a fantasy. You don't really think too much. I mean, maybe you do, maybe you don't.
If part of her fantasy is also like, oh, I have a team of snipers on them.
SEAL Team 6.
But otherwise, I just don't see it working out for you.
Which, first of all, I don't know how we got here
Yeah, neither do I.
from Joker 2, but since we're here, Kevin said Yaoi Monster,
Yeah.
which is a very specific term I don't know if anyone else uses except our friend group, but how to describe Yaoi Monster?
Hands.
All right.
Yeah, they're usually like a very long style of gentlemen.
Well,
who,
let's lay down some groundwork first. So, what's yaoi? Yaoi is boys' love, which is it's gay romance generally.
The term I hear from Fuchos a lot is they catch feelings for each other, or they grow feelings for each other.
That's right. And
It's a very sanitized version of saying they're pounding each other in the butt.
yeah, and
so they bloom to their gayness.
Yes,
Like, or-
yes. It's all about the journey to get there.
Yeah.
Two young men, or maybe not even young, two men.
yeah, there's
encounter
there's
each
old
other.
ones too.
I
Solid Solid Snake and Liquid
I have a lot
Ocelot
of
are
friends
one of the
who are
ones that is a pairing.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
They're both grizzled.
instead of like, hey bro, you want to play COD? It's like, hey bro, you want to go kiss? Like,
I have a lot of friends who are Fujos, and like they know I'm a creative writer, and like I'm into that kind of stuff, and they'll like bounce ideas off of me, and I just have to kind of like smile and wave and be like, oh, that's really cute and wholesome.
I don't want to tell you that you're not creative, but most of your ideas boil down to two boys fucking each other, and
It's just
you're sort of pigeonholing me.
It's making excuses for boys to kiss boys, which, like I said, whatever.
That's a perfectly serviceable way to do things.
Yeah, whatever, man. Like whatever floats your boat, whatever. It's harmless fun. Literally, no one is getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like, so I can't even bitch or moan about
Except
this.
maybe Sasha if she tries something.
Yeah, that's why she's on my radar. I'm gonna watch the fuck out. Like, I'm gonna look about, see you in fucking Inside Nova.
Yeah.
Trying to
yeah, so that's what Yaoi is. Now, Yaoi Monster.
So in manga especially, you see a lot of exaggerated sexual characteristics, but more so, you see exaggerated secondary sexual characteristics. Not necessarily the first thing that you think of, but like, oh, it's not just tits and ass, but also like this girl has like a face exactly to the author's like specifications. Oh, he's really into like short girls, or he's into tall muscle mommies. Like then you see a lot of exaggeration there. But yaoi, because it's not the male gaze, it's a different kind of gaze, comedy, GAY's. Anyway, different things get accentuated, and chief amongst these are the proportions of limbs and especially hands. They go bonkers for hand stuff, hand holding a throat, jacking each other off, all of it. They love it, and so the hands of these guys are generally like the size of Shaquille O'Neal's giant basketball hands.
like their palm is the size of their head.
Yeah.
Not that's a bit of an exaggeration. The size of their face. Size of their face.
They can strangle you with two fingers, like their ring and pinky still resting on your shoulder.
Yeah, it's
yeah, like, and then typically they're just long.
Oh yeah,
Like,
the longest
like-
the boys.
Yeah, like the torsos tend to be just stretched out, and their legs are super long.
now
But the implication is that they're still regular sized.
Yeah,
It's
this is just styled.
somehow they just are sexy Slendermans.
yeah.
Like
Now there's another breed of yaoi monsters. There's the Slendermans, and then there's the Bara monsters.
oh, I don't. Bara is so weird.
Bara is short for bear, and I won't go any further into it. They're very thick boys.
Typically hairy. Typically muscular.
typically
sometimes
hairy.
fat and chubby.
Yeah, but both of them, both of these kinds of yaoi monsters describe a kind of being that doesn't exist. It's sort of like
like a Lovecraftian horror.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Lolies. Lolies are Lovecraftian horrors cursed upon humanity to stop us from breeding.
Children don't look like that.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. That's a fucking space oddity.
Yeah.
Same with the Yaoi monsters. People don't look like that.
Yeah.
That's a ghoul you're describing.
That's a Shrek or a Slenderman. Those are the kinds of things that they are.
The slider between Shrek and Slenderman. Which in America we call Twink and Bear.
Yes. And those be yaoi monsters.
Yeah, that
Now you too will know. But don't just take our word for it. I want you guys to look. Anyone who's listening, look into to yaoi as a concept, and it'll be pretty clear what we mean. This isn't a niche thing where we're making fun of like one or two like panels that look bad. This is like consistently how they like choose to accentuate their style.
You can find this even in just like regular anime and manga.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty old by now. If you're a goth, like I'm sure you'll love it. But
We always
Nana, about the two chicks both named Nana, and then one's in like a band. No, not neither of you.
No idea, man. Not tracking.
Super edgy, super like
Let me look it up real fast.
goth emo type deal.
It's just called Nana?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't. It
And
doesn't
then
ring any bells.
this art style is just like they're all just long. Like
Oh yeah, no, I know these.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is I believe a Yuri show generally.
well, so they're
But,
like best friends, and then like,
Oh my goodness.
but the other one is just like, she just lets people basically walk all over her type deal, and then the other chick is like, no, I'm an emo rocker chick,
Punk
like,
rock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people can't tell me shit. Like, but they just become best friends, and then the other chick gets knocked up by a different emo band artist rocker man.
That's consistent for that kind of
Yeah, and then like
Knocking
she's
up a high
gonna
schooler.
save her somehow with music, and I didn't finish the series.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, man.
I got over it pretty fast. That, then there's I'm probably gonna butcher this, Kimi no Todoki or whatever.
I'm sure once I actually
Kimi means miss, basically. So it means like miss something. No.
Can you type it in?
of miss of something
I think
of.
I think it means from me to you.
What was,
Yeah, I could see that.
What was the Host Club anime?
Koran High School Host Club.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's a very
those
big
are
yaoi
there's a
anime.
lot of yaoi monsters
Okay,
in there.
I was close. Kimi ni Todoki.
Oh,
That-
this is
That's an
extr-
innocent high school love story, but it's also
but
that's
it's
just,
populated by yaoi
yes,
monsters. I'm
but
seeing.
they're all the men. And
Yeah.
Let's look at
Just-
this art style.
All the men are yaoi monsters, and it appears that all the women are Nami from One Piece
Oh,
yeah,
man.
like they're all just weird, slender beings. It's
with different haircuts.
this is just a regular art style for some reason,
Just how it
and
goes.
it's generally drawn by women and doing romance stories.
Who would have guessed?
I mean, if this is your jam,
Yeah, I mean,
More
go
power to
crazy.
you.
I watched that show. It's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
whatever. It's fine.
And like,
but you have to know that when other people are outside looking in and you draw a hand that looks like that, we're gonna notice.
When,
you know,
I'm not even saying it's bad. We're just gonna notice.
because like, you know, I can't talk shit. As a man, I've read too many times where a male writing a female character is, and then she breasted boobily up the
Oh yeah,
stairs.
half of all
Like-
anime is like, oh, she needs to activate her powers by taking her top off.
Like Fire Force literally has a character who does that.
She becomes literally like the power of a deity through just that.
God, I fucking hate
She's like a
anime.
fertility deity by the end of that series.
Anime was a mistake. It's hot garbage.
Yeah.
see, but unfortunately, when it happens, you know, usually in that instance, well, not a lot of times not, but in the good ones, it's just like they just made a really good story, and then they just threw that shit in there, and we have to deal with it.
Yeah.
You
Fan
know?
service. Some people believe fan service is obligatory. I'm one of those fucking boomer hipsters that, like, I guess this is maybe the opposite of a boomer opinion. The more fan service you have, the less likely I am to commit, because I feel like you're trying to make up for something, and I almost feel insulted. Like, my content isn't good enough to keep your attention normally, so here are Big Booba.
Yeah.
And I don't stand that. Like, going back, we talked about this one of our first episodes. One of the things that really pissed me off about Gundam Seed was the Luminaria panty shot. They just didn't need to fucking happen.
Yeah.
They just, like, freeze frame on her ass for a solid, like, 5 seconds. That just didn't need to happen. That didn't need to happen. And it, like...
I feel like
I
not nearly enough, like, mangaka and, like, anime artists just have somebody who looks at them and just, like, narrows their eyes slightly with a frown. Be like, really, sir? And then they're like, yeah, you're right.
It's not socially acceptable over there. Apparently, I think Michael told me that, like, there's actually a job in Japan right now going around.
Oh, the rude American?
Where they hire an American to be able to tell off the bosses because it's socially unacceptable for someone for the office hierarchy there, for like someone to actually like talk shit to their boss or like explain to them they're a dumbass. So they hire an American to be an aggressive like gaijin and just be like, listen, Sadamoto, you're a fucking idiot. This is a bad idea. And like, I take that job.
That's a great job.
That sounds like a great fucking job.
So
I don't. There's no way that's real. There's no way that's real.
So one anime that doesn't have any fucking... There's no fan service of any kind. It's one of very few. Is Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, I heard about this, and you told me why.
Yeah, it's genuinely because the author has said, like, it's because my parents read my manga every week. So I can't just put Booba in there without explaining to my mom why I put the panty shot of the 12-year-old in my fucking serious wizard fights.
Yeah. I think that's also another thing about anime fan service that always fucking strikes me is that, like, age of consent's a different number over there, and it shows.
Yeah.
It shows loudly and proudly. I think one of the more uncomfortable situations I found myself in was with Fairy Tail. Someone was trying to get me into Fairy Tail, and I was like, okay, all right, I like wizards, I like magic. Let's see it. Let's take a look. And like, I kind of peered over their shoulder while they were reading one of like the chapters, and it was like a fan service banner. And I guess one of the characters is like eternally a little girl, and like they were doing like, oh, everyone's in swimsuit fan service, and I was like, I'm good.
Well, no, it's okay because that person's secretly the oldest.
Yeah, I'm secretly a 3,000-year-old demon. We already talked about Etna being a problem. Etna from Disgaea.
They need somebody to hear those words and then frown and narrow their eyes at that person.
Yeah. That person should be me. That should be me.
Yeah.
I should be doing that.
I've explained the concept of the different types of lolis to like a normie friend before, and then like
that's a real high wire to walk.
Yeah, and just having them be baffled at but it was mainly so that I could show him the crab dance meme.
Oh yeah,
which was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And then, like, but I was like, okay, in order for this to be funny for you, you need to understand. Yeah, you need to understand what this is talking about. And so I had to break down the different kinds of lolis.
Yeah, those crab rave memes were so fucking good. Like, what is this in demon years? And like they just start fucking raving. Fuck.
Oh, a thing I didn't get to talk about with Jujutsu Kaisen with you guys that I wanted to. So it ended.
Oh, that's good. Anytime a shonen like that ends at a reasonable fucking chapter number, the world's better off for it.
And so one of my problems with Naruto that I guess might be a small brain opinion to have is that by the end Orochimaru just lives next door.
Yeah, he like gets what he wants and calms down. And
he's
immortal. Like, oh, you scamp.
And he still is actively running a human experimentation like lab.
But it's cool.
But it's okay because he lives outside of town now. He sends his son to school in like the Leaf Village.
Orochimaru has a son.
Yeah, he made a son.
Did he clone himself?
Maybe.
I hate Naruto.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones I don't like.
But everyone treats him now as if he's just like a kooky neighbor rather than like
a war criminal.
Rather than Goebbels and Hitler combined
he's
with
fucking Mendele.
Yeah, he's one of the worst kinds of things in this world, and everyone's like, it's okay, he's got a son, and his son's like a cool guy. He's not quite a Sasuke type character, but he's still a really cool guy. So I guess it's okay that evil wizard fucking
Snake Man just Snake Man.
Yeah. He's just living outside of town, and people meet with him, and they're like, oh, that's Orochimaru. You should go, like, you can talk to him. And like, what? 10 years ago, if you met Orochimaru, everyone told you to, like, put your head between your knees and kiss your ass goodbye.
I feel like the only good way to get away with that is just like, we just can't figure out how to kill him.
I presume that's their answer for why.
He has died like 4 times,
yeah.
And every time he's just like secretly not dead.
He's currently in an immortal body. He's fully immortal now. He did it. That's why he calmed down, I guess. And now only does experiments on the weekends, maybe. Anyway, they do a very similar thing in Jujutsu Kaisen, and it blew my mind. Because it's like, of the characters to not deserve this kind of, like, ending, this guy's really bad. Alright, so, like, one of the main villain besides the ancient fucking wizard that's, like, trapped in the main character's body is a demon wizard man named Kenjaku who turned himself into a cursed spirit, and his thing is he is a brain. And what he does is he surgically implants himself into another body, and then he now has control of that body and that body's abilities. So, way before the story started, he took over a woman, and then fucked a guy who is the descendant of the real villain, evil wizard man, and then had a baby as a woman. And that baby was the main character. And then proceeded to... Yeah, that's already a weird fucking thing, right?
Yeah, pretty weird.
That's very weird and unnecessary to do. Because if you could just say, like, oh, he's related to the villain from his father's bloodline, that was enough. We didn't need to have a guy doing a brain swap, like, pseudo-raping situation. Be that as it may, this guy then later, the most powerful character, teacher, Gojo, he had a best friend. Who his best friend's powers were he can control cursed spirits. He just fucking dominates them. He's like a Beastmaster type character.
He has to eat them first.
He eats them, but yeah, that's what he does. Anyway, this guy gets his brain taken out and replaced by the actual villain, Kenjaku. And that's who, like, he's like the Orochimaru of the story where he's like making all these things happen because it's part of his evil plan. And then we get to like the final fight, and they're like, we can't really beat him. He's too strong in a way that, like, doesn't interact with our strengths. Because the other guy's really strong because he's really good at wizardry and karate, whereas this guy's really strong because he is an unerringly immortal man with so many moves up his sleeve that we can't fucking handle him. So we don't know what to do about that. So they send a man whose power is comedy after him. And once he starts doing a bit with you, like improv, it makes you yes and then it changes reality around you.
Oh, wow.
So like, as the guy's doing improv, like he runs up to him like Bugs Bunny is like, where are you headed today? Like doing like a speeding ticket, and then the guy finds himself in a car explaining why he was speeding. Like, it changes reality around them. And then they spend a full chapter because the villain realizes, oh, they put me in, like, this guy's power is comedy. I don't have anything that can fight this guy's reality warping comedy powers. But I do have one thing. I'm really old. I'm pretty good at comedy too. So they have a Bugs Bunny style improv fight. But the end of it is he realizes, oh, I'm not going to beat him by being funnier than him. What I need is for him to feel like we put on a good enough show that it can be over. So the villain makes that happen. And he makes the comedy guy, like, he does like a fake funeral because he can finally die happy now that he did like a really good show and it was incredible. And that breaks the reality warping, and he's finally back in reality, and comedy guy's in a fake casket, and he's like, huh, looks like I'm home free to continue my evil plans. And then a guy comes up and chops his head off.
Fun.
Like the second strongest guy in the story, just like, I've been here the whole time with a sword waiting for you to snap out of it. Head chop off. And then we don't know what happens to him.
Huh.
And then in the final fight, The strongest character dies. He gets cut in half by the evil wizard man. And then we find out that the guy who cut his head off, his power is also, like, it's a copy ability. So he can copy somebody's ability temporarily. And he uses copy ability so that he can transplant his brain into the strongest guy's body. So now he has the strongest guy's powers, but he's like the second strongest guy's brain. And he comes back out into the battlefield, and you see his head's all lined up with stitches, because Frankenstein style is the only way they do it. And at that point, I was blown away, because I thought, oh, the villain actually won, and like he's in the strongest body now. No, that was pretty cool, but also, whatever. And then they continue to have their fight, and then the fight ends, and they're like, oh no, once like the timer runs out on you using the copy ability to be the brain switch guy, are you going to die? What's going to happen? Oh no, who knows what'll happen? And then it all turns out fine, and he's able to go back to his original body, and then the strongest guy stays dead, and the main characters go on with their lives, and now they're being wizards, and they beat the big bad guy, but life goes on. And then it shows the comedy guy talking to somebody in like a Denny's, and he's just like, nah man, that can't be part of the show, we got to do it this way. And the other guy is like, well, I think it'd be funny if we did it this way. And the end of it is he's like, that's great, we should totally do that. We have to go to that meeting now for our comedy show. And then it shows comedy guy walking out with a silhouette behind him. That's the villain.
Oh, shit.
They just let him go to go be a Seinfeld? That's the end of the story.
Why do they... What is up with shonen
What do you
shows?
mean by that?
Yeah, what is up with shonen anime just being like, in that war criminal evil bad guy, he's actually cool all along. Don't worry about him, man.
He just needed to chill out, learn about the beauty of writing Japanese skit comedy, I guess.
Well, that's a very specific thing in Japanese comedy, is the duo.
Oh yeah, comedy duos, yeah. They to the point where that was the whole bit where they're like, oh, they work so well together that he's able to beat him in his magical comedy. And apparently they work so well together that everyone's like, let him go. Sure, he's using a stolen body of a guy who we should actually be pretty respectful of his remains because he died a hero. But let him have it and go be a Seinfeld. That's just how Jujutsu Kaisen ends for that villain. He causes the entire world to learn about, wizards and shit. The American government kidnaps, hundreds of Japanese citizens because they think that only Japanese people can be wizards because he lied to them about it. And they want to use that as an alternative... Wizards as an alternative energy source. But by the end of the day, it's
Make
just...
a wizard battery.
Yeah.
He was just... he's a scamp, and we forgive him.
He caused thousands of death over hundreds of years, and specifically murdered two of our greatest heroes and the guardian deity of Japan. But let's just let him go.
Kugel, you rascal.
Oh, man. That's how it fucking goes, I guess.
And... ladies and gentlemen, that's why Joker 2 sucks.
It does. That's right.
Yeah, fucking terrible.
Yeah, I don't know how we...
Joker 2 could have learned something.
From there to here.
It's not about where we end up. It's the friends you make along
It's the
the way.
ADHD journey.
Oh, yeah. So, Arcane Season 2 dropped.
Oh, yeah. We got 3 episodes right now. For those of you in the future listening to this, I'm sure at least 1 or 2 more batches is out, if not the whole season.
Yeah, I remember putting it on, the first one on, thinking this is probably going to be trash. But no, so I actually didn't think that, because I was told by people who don't have shit taste that it was good, and specifically better than it had any business being.
Right, being the League of Legends anime.
Which is correct. That is my stance on it, too. Arcane is better than it has any business being.
Oh, yeah.
And is phenomenal. And so much so that it was originally not supposed to be canon. It was supposed to be like a what-if kind of deal.
Yeah.
And they just made it canon because it was so fucking successful.
And, I mean, it's a good story. Ironically, all of the best characters from it aren't in League of Legends.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty good.
As someone who never really played League of Legends, and then Kevin and Tony were like, yeah, we should watch this show, man. It's really good. We watched it, and it's actually really good. I was like,
Right.
I don't give a shit about League of Legends. It's like, you don't have to give a shit about League of Legends.
Yeah.
Like, and then we watched it, and they were right. It was really fucking good. I like it a lot.
Silco is a good example of a character that has no wasted lines.
Oh, yeah.
And that he sets the tone for every scene that he's in and is the show stealer for every scene that he's in.
I would say that he is, like, if you need to look at, like, what does it mean for a character to be powerful? Not like, oh, he can lift 10 tons or something, but a character that, like, can command scenes. Silco is fucking there. He is not physically imposing. He is only just...
A little bit with the eye.
Yeah, he can be a little creepy, but he's not, like, you don't think that he's gonna, like, rip you up. Yeah. It's purely, like, strength of character that just, like, comes through and is like, damn, just dominating a scene. And unfortunately, he is not in season 2. I think he'll maybe show up as, like, a hallucination.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to be Jinx's new hallucinations.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Which, because in addition to being the master of crime, he's a good dad.
He was a good dad.
He was a spectacular dad.
That's partially what makes him such a good character, is that he was a complex character.
She shot him and he's like, I forgive you.
Yeah. Which is devastating.
Yeah. So season 2 started, and it made me so mad, though. Because the end of season 1, Jinx shoots what we are led to believe is the equivalent of like
WMD?
Like a Stinger missile. She shoots it at a window that's right into like the equivalent of like the Oval Office. And you see the glass break, and you see the person on the other side of that window is someone we really care about, and their back is right against it. Like they're going to be the first one hit by this. And then season 2 starts, and that explosion has happened, and she comes out of the smoke like, oh my god, is everyone okay?
Yeah, get shell-shocked.
I'm completely unharmed.
Yeah, gets a little shell-shocked. Like, Jake is like holding her like, oh, what happened? That was crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
And then everyone else who wasn't in the immediate blasting range of the missile, Sarah Lem are dead now.
Yeah.
Like, but not the chick that was literally like, that shit went into her back.
Yeah,
like,
she should at least have like a stab wound in her back because it had like a jagged shark nose on the end of the missile that was just at her. I'm going to say it hit her.
You know, to me...
She's a dreadlord.
To me, what had happened was they didn't expect to get season 2.
Definitely.
And they didn't expect this to become canon, so they had to do a lot of rewriting about, like, okay, well, how do we set things up to be able to make this make sense now?
And she's a character that the fans all really care about and is important, so we can't just kill her off like we obviously were going to.
Yeah. Yeah, it was... Yeah. Yeah, no, they did, but season 2, animation is gorgeous. They fucking nailed that, dude.
They have a great scene right at the beginning with the funeral where like half of almost everything is all just in like charcoal sketch except for what's her name, Caitlin.
Yeah,
and that's spectacular. I loved that.
Yeah, the art direction on that show, they're doing good work. Very gorgeous, a feast for the eyes, and it's like CGI, but like I don't know, it's its own weird, unique.
It's like a combination
style.
CGI and painting. Like it
has like moving paintings.
You can tell it has like drawn bits to accentuate.
Yeah.
Like when she has like a cup of tea or something, it's like the cup and the liquid are physical, but then the steam coming off of it is drawn.
Yeah.
Like, or at least it appears to be from what I can tell.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the like accoutrements
really
of this world are like animated like more traditionally, but like the people in it moving around are clearly working off like a 3D rig, but like it's all painted almost. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. They really fucking did a good job.
Oh yeah.
However, they also have our main characters join a what is essentially supposed to be SEAL Team 6. Well, who do you get into SEAL Team 6? Obviously, we have the main character girl she's really good at punching, and she has the power fists, so obviously we get Vi in there.
Which are for mining only.
And then we have Royal Sniper Cop Woman, and she's like the most personally affected by this, despite the fact that like losing her mom is sort of pales in comparison to most of the trauma that every other character around her has. But that's neither here nor there. She's obviously like leader of the unit. who else do we get on this team?
Yeah.
We got to fill out this team. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to establish this girl who just joined, like a week ago. And she joined because of how cool she heard Vi was. All right. She goes right into SEAL Team 6 with her partner, Frogman. Frogman
doesn't speak.
He doesn't get any lines or a name, so get that out of the way right now. First 3 episodes at the very least, only New Girl gets lines out of the 3 other members of the party. But we need one other member of the party for it to be an even 5. So who do we get the last one? Well, Vi, when she was sad, threw a bottle and then got blackout drunk with a homeless guy. Anyway, he joined that day right into SEAL Team 6. And,
a really big sheet of metal, though.
yeah.
It's a good shield.
It was a good, yeah.
He was armed with a shield and a lifetime of alcoholism, I presume. And that's it. So that's we have our main character. We're ready to go face down Jinx, who we've established is not only super dangerous because she has technology beyond our belief, a giant gun that's super powerful, the ability to make missiles that apparently can kill everybody but who they shoot.
It's a pretty good move.
But also recently they found out that Jinx is an X-Man. They gave her the super soldier serum from Marvel, and now she's a Captain America. There's a scene she
was also insane before that. Like,
oh yeah,
her reflexes and shit. Like they established that she's like,
she was already peak before.
Yeah, she has no reason to be like as agile and like deadly in combat as she is.
And then they gave her crack cocaine to heal up her organs because of an explosion.
Gave her the goo.
And
the
now
goo.
she is so overpowered that Vi, who we've established is good enough to be king of prison with her bare hands fighting people who are genuinely like 12-foot tall ogres who are all but immune to punching. She dominates them, and then she puts on giant power fists that are designed to smash mountains and steel, and Jinx whips the ever-living piss out of her for like 5 minutes.
With her boots in her hands.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
Vi doesn't have the upper hand for a second.
Yeah, man.
We thought at first she seemed like she was depowered because she wasn't insane anymore.
Yeah, she came down too quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
reflexes.
And then some urchin decided to help her, and that reactivated her I guess schizoaffective powers. Because she started seeing visions again and kicking the shit out of criminals with glowing pink eyes.
Which the dudes in top hats with the Vox.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was like, at first I was like, what the fuck? But then I was like, I really like that as a gang motif.
Oh
like,
yeah.
That's very bizarre. And then
the Chem Barons were definitely a fun treat.
Well, and then their main opposition, the dominatrix sis.
Yeah. That shit fucking killed me, dude.
Fucking, I was like, what? They're all just beefy chicks, except the leader, who's just a regular hot dominatrix lady in leather.
I presume that they have like beefy dudes in leather as well, but those are
I didn't see
probably
any.
those are probably even more subservient because of their S&M themes.
The evil Yordle is the show.
He's the
Also,
best.
yeah, the crackhead Yordle was pretty great.
Yeah, with his long legs, the long boy.
He has like pogo stick legs. He has Marvin the Martian technology.
He's Go-Go Gadget Yordle.
Yeah. And he's just always so like just
deranged.
Yeah.
Every fucking phrase
He's
is
snorting
deranged.
purple gas.
Yeah.
And just
He's specifically snorting it too, and it doesn't look like that's how you're supposed to be doing it.
yeah, like you just tweaking the fuck out. Like that was when I instantly liked that character, when he looks so ghoulish, and then he's talking with the nerdy accountant man who's just like, we shouldn't be doing this. And he's just like, you don't know shit, kid. Like,
That's because you's a nerd.
the guy's just like, maybe don't be high first and then think about it. He's like, you don't know what you're talking about.
But if I wasn't high, I wouldn't go through with my evil plan. Yeah, that's kind of my point too.
Yes, I didn't get here by being sober, kid.
Fuck yeah. They're doing a good job over there. But horse shit. They release 3 episodes at a time.
Oh,
I don't like that shit. Let me binge watch. The whole point of Netflix is that you're supposed to drop all episodes of a show at once and let me binge watch it into a coma.
Yeah.
That's how you're supposed to enjoy Netflix. We used to be a proper country.
So, the 3-episode thing, I liked it when, that's what Vox Machina just did. With, but it was every week. So they didn't have, like, set dates when it was going to come out. It was just every week, 3 more episodes.
Is this one not every Saturday 3 more episodes come out?
I don't think so. Because the next one
sucks.
Unless...
That really pisses me off. I thought that it was like every Saturday I could
come out last Saturday?
I thought it did.
Yeah, it came out, yeah.
Then yes, it would be. Never mind, because it's the 16th.
Oh, good.
That would be...
Perfect.
Okay, good.
That is what I like to hear then.
Okay.
I can do 3-episode brackets. I can handle that.
Well, they're also, like, longer standard episodes.
Yeah, true.
Generally, the reason for, like, why they release week by week in, like, olden times was because, like, you know, production doesn't finish, like, for everything cleanly. They don't just finish the block of it. They still need time to work between things. Now, obviously, with things like animation, they need to be finished earlier. So there's no excuse. Please give. I want.
I also really like that police girl. I don't remember her name already.
I don't think she has one.
It's fucking something. No. The sniper chick.
Oh, Caitlin?
Caitlin. There you go. I like now that she's just like, fuck them all. Like, they're evil.
I was actually about to say, like, so one of the things that I noticed watching the first...
Yeah, they kill your mom.
The first 3 episodes of Arcane is like, oh shit, according to Arcane, I'm definitely evil. Because the entire time I'm like, good, fuck those rich assholes. I'm glad they're getting bombed. Fuck you, Caitlin. Like...
Fuck, man. Yeah, no, that, we definitely, you know, it's funny. So we get Arcane, has better than it has any business being. Like excellent, knocked out of the park. Definitely would watch again. And then Netflix also puts out Dota.
Oh, the Dota anime, yeah.
Dota, better than it has any business being. I don't even give a shit about Dota. And these are both MOBAs. Right?
Yeah.
You know, so both of them I don't really care about. I put more respect on Dota than I put on League.
These are the 2 games that I would say have the worst people in the world
playing them. Yeah, just the most toxic communities, just the angriest, evilest people playing them. And the Dota anime, better than as any business being. I'm invested in it. I want to see the next season. But then we have another video game anime that came out on Netflix.
That's worse than it has any right
Dragon Age. I put respect on that IP. I quite enjoy Dragon Age.
I really wanted to enjoy the Dragon Age.
I enjoy BioWare. I enjoy the stuff they make typically. But that Dragon Age show was just despicable. The pacing was all off. They rushed everything and yada yada stuff that's pretty fucking important. They tried to fit what needed to be 12 episodes into 6 and failed.
Yeah.
Failed miserably.
I just remember watching it with you guys... and then ripping on it the whole time.
Yes, that is.
You guys didn't get to 2 episodes.
Correct.
Yeah,
because it
was bad.
It was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, there's just every episode. There's just like 5 or 6 things I could make fun of, and I did.
Yeah.
This is the kind of show that had 3 characters that were written. Everyone else had only one personality trait. The men had an option. You could be stupid, or you could be evil and competent.
No, they had a third option. Smug.
Everyone's smug.
Yeah, true. Everyone on that. Well, no, you can be edgy or you can be smug.
And unfortunately, that is an axis upon which a show cannot be held.
No, not even close. Not even kind of.
People are supposed to like more than 2 characters, and unfortunately, the only likable characters were the villains.
Yeah, that's the thing that
I wish the villains won.
Same! I hated that the fucking Tevinter guy was just a reasonable, regular guy-o, and they just paid him, but he's from the Tevinter Imperium, so obviously he's bad. No, that's not how you do writing. Give him an actual character flaw besides, like, oh, well, he needs to die because he's the bad guy.
He's willing
Make
to
him a bad guy, then.
Yeah, their version of making him a bad guy is they all but turn to the camera and say, he's willing to do whatever it takes to stop us from doing terrorism. Isn't that so bad?
Yeah, God fucking bless, dude.
And then, spoiler alert, He stops them from doing terrorism, sacrificing himself along the way, and they're like, what a piece of shit.
And they spit on his corpse!
Yeah.
Fuck, bro. I think they were trying to set it up to where, like, if they got a second season, which I don't think
They shouldn't have banked on that. They should have gone the Arcane method of, like, don't expect a second season.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I think they were trying to bank up on, like, well, if we make him likable, it'll give the person trying to avenge him, it'll make their audience think that's more of, like, a noble thing they're doing instead of just doing it out of spite.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, she deserves to be avenged. Like, that's... I can kind of see that angle, but, like...
The thing is, Tony, you shouldn't have to look for angles.
Yeah, I know.
An important part of something being good is that it shouldn't need justification for you to think, like, that's an interesting way to look at it. It should just be an interesting thing to look at.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to, like, contextualize why your thing doesn't suck.
Yeah. If you find yourself, anyone out there, creatively struggling and thinking, like, man, whenever I tell anybody or if anybody, like, experiences the thing I'm doing creatively and I have to qualify it, is that good? No, it's bad. That's a very bad thing. People have a suspension of disbelief, and most people are willing to suspend disbelief for quite a lot of things. There are so many fucking Mission Impossible movies, and the basis of them is, what if impossible technology existed but only for heists?
Yeah.
That's the premise of all of them. And people are just like, done, I buy it. Henry Cavill reload those fists and beat up Tom Cruise. I want to see it.
I love that scene because he says in an interview that, like, no one was supposed to see him priming his fists like that. He did it for him.
That was...
He's just having a really good time being in a movie.
Yeah, that's just how he was like, okay, get back into it. Come on. And everyone's like, did he just reload his fists like that? And we're all like, Henry Cavill, take your crown, King.
Yeah, dude, what an absolute fucking legend. And with that, we're going to end the episode here. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this content, go ahead and give us a like on social media. You can find us at Scryer's Room at the Smug Grape on Twitter, as well as my personal channel, Fanfare. And you guys got anything going on?
I don't really have anything going on. I'm on Blue Sky, but I haven't posted anything ever on the internet, so that doesn't really matter. Your Blue Sky is just the same as your Twitter, right?
Correct. It would be Fanfare.
Exactly.
Nope, not really.
I intend to listen to a video that you recommended about pre-Tolkien fantasy. That'd be an excellent thing to talk about.
Shout out to... Let me find that man's channel.
Yes, plug.
It is
people.
very small, and...
We need to help them grow.
I only watched those 2 videos so far. Okay, bit of a weird name, but Orogeny Vexred. So OROGENY space VEXREDE. Go check that guy out. Small channel, makes great content. The one I want.
We're
Kevin,
probably going to talk about it as soon as I watch it, because I doubt that I have the self-control that Mario does to not immediately explode about the thing that he just watched.
Kevin has said he's going to watch it. I would love Tony to watch it as well. It's a 2-part series about pre-Tolkien fantasy. It's fascinating. Highly recommend.
There really were no rules back in the day.
Yeah, like, really interesting. And he goes very in depth. It's like 3.5 hours or something total between the 2 videos.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. And with that, have a great night.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.